What's up guys, my name is Ace, and a little while back I did a video talking about the top 5 class mistakes in Call of Duty World War II, and that video was designed around core game modes. I did have a few hardcore players in the comment section saying, well hey, this doesn't really apply to hardcore, so today I thought I'd make a separate one, and this is going to be covering the top 4 class mistakes in hardcore game modes. So first up is a class mistake that came up actually in one of my most recent streams. I was going for one-shot kills with the toggle action shotgun, and people were asking me, why are you not using steady aim on your class? And the simple reason for this is it's always a mistake to use steady aim in hardcore game modes on shotguns. Now the reason behind this is the shotguns in this game deal a base damage, and for all of the shotguns within any range that you're able to get a hit marker, if you hit an enemy, you are guaranteed to kill that enemy, with a couple very small exceptions. So the toggle action, in its maximum damage range, you do have to hit 2 pellets in order to get a kill, and if you use advanced rifling on the Luftwaffe drilling as well as the toggle action, this will also create scenarios in your longer ranges where you will be getting hit markers with one single pellet hitting, because it actually reduces your base damage range. So with that, that's more of an issue of you probably shouldn't be using advanced rifling on the toggle action as well as the Luftwaffe drilling, rather than using it and then having to use steady aim to compensate for that. Now, since it is always going to be a one-shot kill, even if you just hit 1 pellet, aside from those couple really small exceptions, you actually want to be spreading those pellets out as much as possible, and that way you don't have to be nearly as accurate with your shot. And if you run into multiple enemies that are standing side by side, you want the potential to be able to hit both of them, and the tighter your spread is, the lower the odds are that you're going to be able to hit both of those targets in one shot. So steady aim has no benefit whatsoever in hardcore game modes because it doesn't extend your range out at all, and all it does is make it so you have to be more accurate and more precise when you're pulling that trigger. So steady aim on shotguns is a big mistake because it has no upsides, and it does have some downsides that go along with it. Moving on to the next class mistake, this is using the advanced rifling attachment on most of the guns in the game. Now, I'll go over the exceptions here, but if you guys want to see this in much greater detail, see the actual ranges and how much advanced rifling helps, or if it even helps at all, because with a lot of the guns in the game, it does literally nothing for you, I will leave a link to a video where I covered that all in great detail down below. But today, I'm just going to cover the highlights for each different weapon class. So let's start off with SMGs, because SMGs are really important here. There are only 3 SMGs in this game currently that gain any benefit at all from advanced rifling. That's not an exaggeration either. If you're using advanced rifling in hardcore on anything but the grease gun, the MP40, or the Sten, you're simply wasting an attachment slot. It's not doing anything whatsoever to help you. As for the rifle category, advanced rifling is okay to use on the M1941 Johnson, the STG-44, arguably the BAR, and the Volkssturmgewehr. Any of the other rifles in the game, once again, advanced rifling is a waste of an attachment slot. As for pistols, I would say advanced rifling is really not necessary on any pistol, but if you are planning on running it, the only pistols where it's practical to use advanced rifling are going to be the P08 Luger, the 9mm SAP, and the Reichs revolver. I should also mention that advanced rifling is really only a good choice in hardcore for the combat shotgun as well as the sawed-off shotgun. Like I said earlier, with the Luftwaffe drilling as well as a toggle action, you're reducing that minimum base damage range down to a pretty low damage, and therefore you're actually just going to run into more situations where you're getting hit markers. So for any other gun I didn't list here, it's a waste of an attachment to be using advanced rifling. Moving on to the third class mistake, this doesn't actually relate to the divisions themselves, but this is more so score streak related. I did want to throw this in here. There are 3 score streaks that you really don't want to be running in hardcore game modes, because if you manage to kill 3 teammates in hardcore, you are kicked from the game, and this also applies to if your score streaks are getting kills, even if you don't have full control over those score streaks. So the 3 score streaks I have on this list that I would absolutely never run in hardcore game modes would be artillery barrage, because oftentimes you'll get teammates that run in there, plus there's a bit of a delay when you call it in and teammates might not know exactly where it's going, and therefore it's just way too easy to accidentally kill teammates with it. The firebombing run is another one. This is one where yes, you can place it where you want it, but that fire lingers, and sometimes you just get those dumb teammates that will run into the fire, maybe they're even trying to troll you and purposely get you kicked from the game. With that lingering fire, and also just from the initial calling it in, it does cover a good portion of the map, there's a good chance you're going to accidentally kill some teammates. And the final score streak that I would recommend that you completely stay away from in hardcore, this is the carpet bombing run. This one, you have no control over where it drops, it just drops indiscriminately around the map. It's got pretty good kill potential as well, and yes, you'll rack up a lot of enemy kills, but you're also basically guaranteed to get kicked from the game. The chances that you're not going to be killing 3 teammates with the carpet bombing run are actually pretty slim. So those are 3 score streaks that I would absolutely completely stay away from in hardcore. There are a couple other ones that I'd be a little on the fence about. I'd be a little bit nervous about using, like the mortar strike for instance. But the 3 that I would completely stay away from are artillery barrage, fire bombing run, and carpet bomber. So finally, moving on to the last class mistake I have for this video. This is using the high caliber attachment on any gun aside from the machine pistol. The way it works in this game, if you look at the damage profiles of all the weapons that you're able to use high caliber on in the game, high caliber is literally useless because the gun is always going to be a one-shot headshot no matter what, or it only works beyond 50 meters. And beyond 50 meters, you're rarely going to find a gunfight, and if you do, the chances that you're going to be specifically aiming for the head beyond 50 meters are pretty slim, so realistically speaking, it's essentially a waste of an attachment even on those guns. The one and only exception to this is the machine pistol. The machine pistol has a very low one-hit kill potential even to the head in hardcore game modes, but if you pop high caliber on there and you're shooting them in the head, you can actually extend that range out by a noticeable amount. So there we have it. That's going to wrap it up for my top 4 class mistakes in hardcore game modes for CoD World War II. I'd love to know in the comment section below, first off, were you making any of these mistakes while playing hardcore? And second, is there anything else that I missed here that you would add to the list for hardcore game modes? If you enjoyed the video, a like rating is always appreciated, and don't forget to subscribe for more if you haven't already. I'll talk to you guys next time.